Hey y'all, and welcome back. We made it to Friday. And so our first week of third grade and preschooling is officially done. So let me start with my third grader. So my third grader has been doing preschool all week with my husband, his dad, and so they finished up lesson 3 of Meadowlark. They made S's out of clay today. And then he has been doing these, so he identified the red items, and then he used his little marker to draw his line, so he did pretty good with that. And then he read his stories out of here. My husband read them to him. So they've been reading these stories which correlate, like week 1. So story 1, they go through and they found all the red things one day. And then I think the next thing that they did is they found the S's, the squirrel, sniff, sniff, sniff. So everything ties back. So he has had so much fun with this week, and his pet snake, which was our sock puppet that we made. And this was his Sammy the Snake to get him through his S's in red. So we finished that today. My husband did that while I was downstairs with my third grader. We started our morning off with another chapter out of Peacemaker. So we are right on track with the schedule. So we made it to chapter 7. So 60 pages we read this week out of this one. This one has some heavy topics for a third grader. I feel like my daughter's totally fine with it, but I'm like, wow, we'll see. We'll see how it continues to go, but I'm loving the lesson plan so far. And I'll give a full review in Sunday's video of how we're liking everything. Then we moved into some of our drill work. So on Fridays, we take it easy. We don't do our typical, but I have these. So these are the landforms that she has so far. So continent, archipelago, ocean, and island. So she matched those up. And then we go over our regions with Memoria Press. So she got these. So we went over that. She found Maine. She labeled the capital. She can spell it. And she knows the abbreviation. So that's week 1 with that. Then we moved into Alveary's geography. And if you've seen any of my videos, we are doing grade 2 and grade 3 together because they build upon each other using this book for both years. So we didn't want to skip second grade since we weren't with Alveary, so we're doing both. So we've been doing this through the summer. So we are on lesson 20. We just finished lesson 20 today. So we do 2 of them because they're so short. They are ridiculously short. It says 10 minutes, I think, but it literally takes us 5 minutes to do. So we did lesson 19 today and lesson 20. So we learned about different symbols in this book. We also found our state, our city. We talked about why our city's not listed on there and what cities were listed and why that may be. And then we read our pages out of here. I really like it. I'm liking it. She likes it. I do think she's learning things. I just think it's so slow paced. I feel like we could do way more than even 2 lessons because it literally takes us 5 minutes. So that's my only caveat with this is I think like when my son gets into second grade, we will do second and third grade in second grade, but we will use this again. I really like it. I just feel like sometimes I feel like it takes more time for me to get it out than it takes to do. So we will continue. Now, then you'll see our next lesson is lesson 21. And this looks like we have a lot more map work. So maybe it just gets a little bit harder as we go through. I don't know. But we'll start on lesson 21 and do lesson 21 and lesson 22 next Friday. So we do 2 lessons every Friday in this. Then after we did geography, we did Shakespeare. We are following Alveary's lesson plans for Shakespeare, but we're also adding in read-aloud revival because we had done part of this before she went into second grade. So that would have been a year and so plus. And so she really liked it. I feel like today was a sign of how the maturity is there and how it's so different a year makes. And so we had so much fun with this. When I always ask her at the end of the day, what was your favorite subject for the day? And she said Shakespeare today. So let me show y'all. In my binder, this is my Riches binder. We have these from Read Aloud Revival, and it's all the characters. And so we had all these out, and as I was reading, she found the characters and was acting it out, and it was so fun. And then we also have the character map from Read Aloud Revival, and this was really helpful too, to go over the characters and go over all the relationships, because it's like Hermia loves Lysander, and then Demetrius loves her, and then she loves him, and then Puck's over here doing all this. And so it's nice to have the character map. And then she was doing the little characters and acting it out as I was reading, and it was so good. So we started that. I will say, like, this is for 4th grade. We're doing it for 3rd. We were supposed to read, let me see, passage 1, but because passage 1 has a lot of the flowers, we actually used this book. And this is one of Alveary's like bonus suggestions. They always give you extras that you can do. We did the Botanicals of Shakespeare. And so we went through and found thyme, violets, oxlips, woodbine, musk roses. And so we went through and found all of these in here, and there was beautiful illustrations, so you can see it's just really pretty. So that was fun. That's how we started, is we watched a video on Shakespeare, which was fine. I think I should have pre-watched it because I would have found a little bit better video, but that was from the Alveary plans. We read passage 1. We found the flowers in here. Then I switched over to read aloud and I did their character map. And then we pulled out the things, the puppet things, the paper dolls. And then I read from here. So the first 2 weeks you actually read from here, which we read this already, but she doesn't remember a lot of it, she said. She knew, like, but not a lot. So we started here and went through and read almost all of it. And so she said she wanted to wait, but then she listened. We have a Shakespeare Yodo card, and she listened to Midsummer's Night Dream, the Yodo, on her during her rest, and she came back and she loved it and narrated the whole thing to me. So she's kind of like getting a lot of it. So we'll be incorporating parts of this and Alveary to do Shakespeare this year, and we'll do that on Fridays. But this took us 45 minutes, but we were having so much fun with it that it was totally fine. Fridays are supposed to be more low-key for us, and I'm definitely keeping this on Friday because it gave us enough time to actually have fun with it. And then after that, we did our history. And so we wrapped up BookShark. This is from BookShark, and this book is really cool. It's all activities. I read about this to her. So we went over and talked about the different areas and how it influences how Native Americans, based on where they lived, is how their food and everything was. And then we read that, and then we got into this. And so this was the first activity, and it was the map. So we took the air dry Crayola clay. And Sunday I'll show you all a picture. She did such a good job with this. And then she painted it with acrylic paint, but she did the mountains, she painted the rivers, and she did all their territories. So this was a lot of fun. I don't usually like hands-on stuff. And I kind of delegated this out to my husband. So he did it while I was working, but she loved it. So this was a really good one too. And then after her rest today, she did have to do her Monday all about reading, all about spelling, because we missed that on Monday with the sickness. So she had to do that. And then we did biology, and this went a hot mess express, in all honesty. So there was 2 labs. So we did lab 1. So if you watch my Monday video, I think Monday or Tuesday, we did lab 1. Then we did this, which was totally fine. Then we did lab 2 today. This was complete chaos. And I don't think it's the curriculum's fault, it was our fault. We were not ready for the microscope. We bought a brand new microscope that has a camera that you can hook up to your computer. The software didn't work. We spent all this time with their troubleshooting, trying to figure out how it worked. Then I got on AI and it fixed it in 5 minutes for me. And so we did that. But then the instructions in here weren't actually how we should have done it for the microscope. So we went through that. So my husband and I are going to try to get it to work tonight correctly, and then we'll give it a go tomorrow. But since there were so many tech issues, it was just chaotic. I don't know how much he got out of it. And this is a lot of prep, y'all. I will say that we're keeping on, but today was very hectic. And I will also say there was a lot of tears today. She's done so well all week, and today was just not the best day in terms of schooling. I feel like we had a lot of fun. She loved doing this project. She loved Shakespeare. She did not want to read this book at all today, and she's been doing great with it. But today, it was just a struggle, and it was a struggle to do reading. It was a struggle to do spelling, and then science was just a complete crapshoot. We got to the end of the week. We finished everything. I'm going to do a full video on Sunday of my thoughts, what we're sticking with, what we may change. what I've just had to decide about my 3-year-old and preschooling. And so all that will be coming Sunday, but I hope y'all have a great weekend. We do have a fun activity tomorrow. The kids don't know about it yet, but we are taking them to a gold mine and where they can actually pan for gold. And it's, I think, the oldest gold mine in the US. The gold rush was here before it was out in California. And so it matches up with our time period, but also this week we talked about the Spanish conquistadors and how they stole the gold and silver from South America. And it talked about quartz and how you can get gold from quartz. And this is not only a gold mine, but they also have quartz where you can have the veins of gold. So we're gonna go do that and pan for gold to go along with that. The kids don't know about it yet, so that should be fun. And then Sunday I will have a video for y'all on just my overall thoughts. So have a great weekend, and see, not every school day goes amazing. And that's what I'm here to share. Not just the highlight, but the real what actually happened. So I'll see y'all Sunday.